Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got some Braves baseball here today,
Gino Simoli.
and we got the Cincinnati Reds traveling to Milwaukee to close out June here. So let's take a look here at the starting lineups for the Cincinnati Reds. We got leading off playing second base Don Blasingame, batting second playing shortstop Eddie Casco, batting third playing center field Vada Penson, batting fourth playing right field Frank Robinson, batting fifth playing left field Wally Post, batting sixth playing third base is Gene Freeze, batting seventh and playing first base is Dick Gurnett, batting eighth doing the catching is Jerry Zimmerman, and on the mound doing the pitching is Joey J. And we should have a great pitching matchup here today, folks, because look who's pitching for the Milwaukee Braves. We got leading off playing center field is Gino Kamalia. Batting second, playing second is Frank Bolin. Batting third, playing third is Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth, playing right field is Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing left field is Frank Thomas. Batting sixth, playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting seventh, doing the catching is Joe Torre. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. Like I say, it should be a one heck of a pitching matchup because batting ninth and doing the pitching for the Milwaukee Braves is Warren Spahn, folks. So let's get down here to Milwaukee and get this game started. And here's the pitch to Blasingame. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three. Spahn starts the game out right with a strikeout. One down here in the first. Brings up Eddie Casco now. And that's ball four. So we got a strikeout and now a walk. Runner on at first for Vada Penson. Here's the pitch to Vada. And that's going to be a ball hit in the center field. Gino tracks that down for out number two. And we got Frank Robinson up now with Eddie down at first and 2 outs. And Frank gets a hold of this off of Warren. And he drives that ball into right field. Casco will end up down at third. So now we got first and third and 2 outs here for the Braves. And we got Wally Post up now with Robinson at first, Casco down at third. And that ball is hit into right field. That's where the hammer's at today. And that's the final out. Reds leave two. We go to the bottom of the first. Reds nothing. Braves due up here. Here's the first pitch from Jay to Gino. And he gets a hold of this one off of Jay. May have jinxed it saying this is going to be a pitcher's duel. And he hits that ball in the gap. That ball will roll to the fence. And Robinson comes over and gets it, fires it in. But Gino's standing down at second with a leadoff double for the Braves, folks. That brings up Frank Bolin now. Frank's hitting 303 on the year. Can he drive Gino in and get the Braves on the board? And that's going to be ball four. And Gino's going to take his base. So the Braves making some noise here in the bottom of the first. First two runners are aboard for the big boys. You got Eddie Matthews coming up now. Eddie's hitting 310 on the year. And that's going to be a ball hit back to the pitcher. He's going to fire over to first to get the out. That makes second and third now for Hank Aaron with 1 out. And I think Jay's going to intentionally walk Aaron and set up the bases loaded situation here. And that way he can get a double play with Frank Thomas, who ain't the most fleet of foot. So they walk Henry. So the bases are loaded now for Frank Thomas. And Frank's hitting 227 on the year. So can he come through with a base hit here and make him pay for walking Aaron? No, he doesn't, folks. And that is a strikeout. Swing and a miss. That is 2 down here. He strikes Frank Thomas out. That leaves Joe Adcock up now with the bases loaded. Joe's hitting 275 on the year. Can he do a 2-out base hit now? No, he can't, because that's a swing and a miss by Adcock. So Jay loads the bases and pitches around it with 2 big strikeouts. Braves leave 3. We go to the top of the second. And it's still 0-0. We'll have to remember that. The big boys come up and don't score. Here is Gene Freeze up now. Gene's hitting 285 on the year. He hits that ball down the second. Easy play for Frank. He fires over to Adcock, 1 out. Brings up Dick Gurnett. He's hitting 529 in his short time up. He's only played in 8 games for the Reds. Let's see what he can do here. And he gets a base hit, sure. He's a hitting machine since the Reds have gotten him. That ball's hit in the right field. Aaron up with it, fires it in. So the Reds have got a runner on at first now with 1 out for Zimmerman. Here's the pitch to Zimmy. And he gets a hold of this, folks. That ball is deep. And it bounces off the wall out there. Dick will have to stop at second. Stop at third, but it's second and third now for the big Reds. That brings up Joey J here with 1 out. Runners on second and third. The Braves will bring the infield in here. And Jay pops that ball up in the foul territory. Joe Adcock near the dugout. He makes the catch. Everybody will hold. Now there's 2 outs for Blasingame. He's 0 for 1, struck out his first time up. And that ball is hit in the left field. Frank Thomas makes his way over to the ball, camps under it, and Warren Spahn gets out of a bad situation. And the Reds leave 2, folks. So the second inning, some noise, but no runs. So we go to the bottom of the second, rather, and it's still 0-0. We got Torrey, McMillan, and Spahn due up here against Jay. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. 1 out here in the second. Here's McMillan now. And Mack pops that up behind home plate. Zimmerman tracks it down, throws the mask to the side, and makes the catch. 2 outs. That brings up Warren Spahn, who's not a bad hitting pitcher, folks. He's hitting 250 on the year with 2 home runs. And that's a swing and a miss, though. He gets Warren on a strikeout. So we go to the top of the third. It's still 0-0. Casco, Penson, and Robinson due up here for the Reds. Here's the pitch to Eddie. He walked his first time up. And that ball is hit down the first. Adcock's got it. He tosses it underhand to Spahn covering. That is 1 out. Brings up Veda Penson now. Penson's 0 for 1, flew out to center's first time up. And now he's going to try right field. Aaron gets over into the gap, makes the catch. And that's 2 outs here in the third. Here's Frank Robinson. Frank got a single his first time up. And that ball is hit down the third. Matthews near the line, plants and throws, and he gets Robinson. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds. We go to the bottom of the third. We got the top of the order due up here. Gino, Bowen, and Matthews. Let's see what happens here against Jay. Gino's 1-for-1 starts his game off with the double. He lifts that ball in the center field. Vada Penson, he runs over, camps under it, 1 out. Here's Frank Bolin now. Frank, he walked his first time up. And he walks again, folks. Frank gets on for the big boys a second time. Here's Eddie Matthews now. And Eddie's 0-for-1. He grounded out the pitcher's first time up. And that's going to be ball 4 to Matthews. And all of a sudden, Jay's having trouble finding the strike zone here in the third. He intentionally walked Aaron the first time to load the bases. He's not this time. 1 out here. And Bolin down at second. See if Aaron can make him wish he did walk him. Here's the pitch. And that's a strike 3. Aaron goes back shaking his head. Can't believe he missed that one. That brings up Frank Thomas. He struck out his first time up with the bases loaded. So here's the pitch to Frank. And that ball is hit down the second. Blasingame throws that ball in the dirt, folks. And Gierner, he stops it from going too far, and that'll load the bases up for Joe Adcock. Joe came up the last time with the bases loaded and struck out. Let's see if Joe can redeem himself here. And that is ball 4, folks. Jay walks in the go-ahead run. Ain't that something? 2 walks and an error. An unearned run, and the Braves take the lead here, and they still got bases loaded with 2 outs for Joe Torre. Torre is 0-for-1. He flew out to center, and that ball is hit down the short. Casco's got it. He throws over the Blasingame, and that'll end the inning, but the Braves score 1 without even getting a hit, folks, and take the lead here. Sure. Jay walks back to the dugout shaking his head. Can't believe what just happened. Hey, Ken, let's take a look at the box score here with that. Take a look at the scorecard. You're going to see 2 walks and an error and another walk. It's crazy, folks. He walked Frank. He walked Matthews. Frank reaches on an error, and he walks Joe Adcock to get an RBI as Frank Bolin comes in to score. Scoring a go-ahead run, 1-0 game without a hit. Here's Post, Freeze, and Gearnet due up here. Hey, Doug. Here's the pitch to Wally. And that ball is hit in the center field. Gino comes in, can't get to it, takes it on a hop. That'll be a base hit for Post. Wally's on with nobody out here for Gene Freeze. Gene's 0-for-1. He grounded out to second his first time up. And that's 2 balls and no strikes on Gene. And that Warren comes back to get him, folks, on a 3-2 count. Gene swings and misses. Strike 3. Here's Dick Gernett. See if the Braves can induce him into a double play. He don't run very well. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Warren comes back after Post gets on. Strikes out the next 2. That brings up Zimmer. See what happens here with Jerry. And that ball's lifted into right field. Warren, he goes into the gap, chases it down, camps under it. And that's it for the Reds. They leave Post on at first. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Braves up by 1. McMillan, Spahn, and Gino due up here in the 4th. Max 0-for-1. He popped up to the catcher's first time up. And this time he lifts that ball in the center field. Vada Penson's out there. He's got it. That's 1 out. Here comes Warren Spahn. Let's see if he can help his own cause, folks. He struck out his first time up, and he hits that ball down the Blasingame. He fields it cleanly this time. throws over the first, spawns out. We're back to the top of the order here with Gino 1 for 2, hitting 236 on the year in a short time with the Braves. And he flies out to right field with Frank Robinson out there. 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. We go to the top of the fifth. Cincinnati Reds, nothing. Milwaukee Braves, 1. We got Jay, and then the top of the order in Blasting Game and Casco due up. Jay's 0 for 1, hitting a $128 on the year. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Spahn strikes out his counterpart. 1 down. And that brings up Blasting Game, who struck out and flew out to left this last time up. And he's going to hit that ball down to Matthews, which ain't very smart. Matthews gets it, gobbles that up, throws it over to Adcock for the second out. Brings up Eddie. Eddie walked his first time up and then grounded out to the first. And he's going to hit that ball in the left field. Frank Thomas near the line makes the catch in fair territory, and that's a 1, 2, 3 inning for Spahn. So we go to the bottom of the fifth. It's still a 1-run lead. We got the big boys coming up. Got Bowen followed by Matthews and Aaron. Here's the pitch from Jay. And Frank's walked both times up. And not this time, though. Yes, he does. I'm sorry. He does walk again. The hat trick and walks. Frank Bowen with a good eye. I don't know why Jay's worried about him. He's flirting with danger, putting him on with the big boys. They haven't cashed in yet. Here's the pitch to Matthew. Well, I guess they did with the bases loaded walk there. And that is hit down the second. And Blasting Game with his second error of the game, folks. As he muffs that ball up, fires over the first, but Matthews is too quick. He beats it out. So we got first and second again for the Hammer. Is it hammer time here in Milwaukee, folks? He's 0 for 1 with an intentional walk, hitting 340 on the year with 15 home runs. Let's see what happens. And that is going to be a unbelievable. You're not going to believe this, folks. That ball has hit the Blasting Game again and again. He looks like Steve Sachs out there in 1980s and 90s. If anybody took the time machine to the future, because that's an E4 again. And that loads the bases up for Frank Thomas. The Reds, they're going to bring the infield in. They can't see giving up many runs here. Warren Spahn's pitching a heck of a game. Here's the pitch to Frank Thomas. Nobody out. And he pops that ball up. No, he doesn't. Sorry. That's a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the second strikeout of Frank Thomas with the bases loaded, 1 out. The Reds are going to play back now with Joe Adcock up. They're going to look for the double play here. Joe struck out and walked. Got an RBI the last time with the bases loaded with a walk. And that's a fly ball in the center field. Is that going to be deep enough to score? Bolin? No. As Veda runs in, makes the catch, fires that ball in. So 2 outs now. Can Jay get out of this bases loaded, no out situation? Here's Joe Torre. Can he make him pay here, folks? And that is going to be a single over first. And that's going to score 2. Hank's going to make it down the third. And it looked like Jay was going to get out of this mess, but no. He doesn't. And now we got first and third and still 2 outs for Roy McMillan. The Braves lead 3-0 now. Here's Mack up. He's 0 for 2. He's popped up the catcher and flown out to center. And they're not done yet, folks. That's a single in the right field. And that's going to score Aaron. And that's going to send Joe Torre down the third, folks. And the Braves all of a sudden have gotten the J. They're going out to talk to him. Sure, he can't get out of this fifth inning all of a sudden, folks. We got first and third now for Warren Spahn. And see what Warren can do here. Can he help his own cause? He's already up 4-0. Spahn's 0 for 2. And he's going to be 0 for 3, folks. So he hits that ball back to the mound. Jay's up with it. I mean, he fires that ball over to first. You could tell he's aggravated with himself. It's 3-run score here in the fifth, and it's 4-0 Milwaukee. And I think Jay's looking for something that made Milwaukee famous in that dugout. He is not a happy man. He needs to drink away his sorrows. We got Pence and Robinson and Post due up here for the Reds. Again, Spahn with a 4-run lead. And Veda's 0 for 2. He's flown out to center and the right. And he's going to give Gino another shot out there, and he's up to the task. He makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Frank Robinson now. Frank's 1 for 2 with a single. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike 1. 0-1 count. And that's going to be a single in the left field out of the reach of McMillan. Frank's having a decent day here. 2 for 3. That brings up Wally Post with Robinson down at first. And only 1 out. Wally is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice job by Warren Spahn. That ball had some steam on it. Something about it made you think of Linda Ronstadt. Another Blue Bayou, and that brings up Gene Freeze. He struck out his last time up and grounded out to second in the second. And that ball's lifted in the right field. Aaron takes a few steps back, makes the catch. And the Reds leave Frank down at first. And it is still 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Like to see Jay get through the 6th inning here. He's due up third. He's got the top of the order here. Gino, Bolin, and Matthews. Here's the pitch to Gino. He's 1 for 3 today with that leadoff double. And he just got a single in the center field. Gino's having a good game, folks. Veda came in on it and couldn't quite reach it. Takes it on the short hop. Brings up Frank Bolin now. Frank, he's walked 3 times today, folks. Jay hasn't won a part of him. Let's see what happens here. Is he going to get the golden sombrero as far as walks? No, he's not, because he drives that ball in the right field, folks. Maybe Jay knew what he was doing. And Gino's going to end up down at third. It's first and third and nobody out. Sure. And the Reds go out to talk to Jay. They're thinking about pulling him. See about a double switch here. Here they got as a third baseman. Freeze made the last out. They're sure not going to bring in Wines Nat. They got anybody else in the starting lineup that can play third and bring somebody else in. As a shortstop, Casco could go over and play third. That's what they're going to do. Chico's going to come in and take over the 9th spot. Jay's coming out. Let's see who they're going to bring in here to pitch. He'll bat and freeze this spot. And we thought we was going to get a great pitching matchup. Half of it's been true, but Jay sure hasn't been the man we thought he was going to be here. That's for sure. Yeah, exactly, Ken. Yeah. Let's see who's going to come in here and pitch. I think it's going to be Howie Nunn's going to come in here and pitch. Yep, that's who it's going to be. They're going to bring in Nunn. Like I say, he'll bat and freeze a spot. So Nunn comes in. He's going to bat in the 6th hole. And Chico's going to come in and bat in the 9th spot. He's going to go the short. And Casco will go over to 3rd. So let's see here. We'll move Casco over to 3rd. And that'll take care of that. And Howie's going to come in here now with 1st and 3rd. Nobody out to face Matthews, Aaron, and Thomas if he doesn't get a double play. And they're going to bring the infield in. They don't think they can double up Matthews. Here's the pitch to Eddie. And that's going to be with the infield in. He drives that ball through, folks, in the right field. And Gino's going to score. Frank's going to stop at 2nd. And it is a 5-1, 5-0 ball game, folks. So Nunn comes in and doesn't put a stop to it yet. And that brings up the hammer now. 1st and 2nd and nobody out. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And that ball is hit in the center field. Is that going to be deep enough to get bowling over to 3rd? No, it's not. That's the 1st out of the inning. 1 down. That brings up Frank Thomas. He's 0 for 3. He's struck out, reached on an error, and struck out, folks. And that ball is hit down the short. And they'll go over to 2nd, but that's too slow of a whirler to get a double play. So Bolin will end up down at 3rd. That puts Frank down at 1st. So we got 1st and 3rd now for Joe Adcock with 2 outs. And Joe is 0 for 2. He's walked, has an RBI with that walk and struck out and flew out. See if he can add some more to this. Here's the pitch to Joe. No, he hits that ball down the short. Again, Chico's going to go over to 2nd for a blasting game. That'll end the inning, but the Braves score another one, and it's 5-0 as we go to the 7th. We got Gearnett, Zimmerman, and Chico since he replaced Jay in the 9 spot. Here's the pitch to Dick. He's 1 for 2, folks. Struck out his last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Gino's got it. 1 out. That brings up Zimmerman. He's 1 for 2 with a double. And that ball is popped up in the infield. He's going to call for it. McMillan's got it, he says. Makes the catch. That's a quick 2 outs. Here's Chico's first time up, folks. Cardenas. Let's see what he can do here. And he drives that ball down the 3rd. Matthews grabs it, fires it over the 1st. 1, 2, 3 goes the Reds. We go to the 7th inning stretch, folks. Got the bottom part of the order due up here. Torrey, McMillan, and Spahn. Here's the pitch to Joe. He's 1 for 3 with a RBI, and he just singles in the left field. So the lead runner's aboard here. That brings up Mac. See what Roy McMillan can do here. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Casco's playing over there now. He fires over the first. Torres will head down the second with 1 out here for Warren Spahn. And Spahn's not going to bunt, folks, not with a 5-run lead. He's 0 for 3. He struck out, grounded out to second and back to the pitcher. And that ball's lifted in the center field. Can Joe get over there to third? No, not with his speed. Not that he's a bad runner, but he ain't fast enough. So that's 2 down. Here's Gino, who's having a heck of a game here, folks. He's 2 for 4 with a double and scored. Can he drive Joe in? No, that ball is hit down to short. High pop up. Chico calls everybody off. And that'll end the inning. And Ace Grand Joe down at second. Go to the top of the 8th. It's still a 5-0 game, folks. The Reds do have the top of the order due up here in the 8th. Blasting game, Casco and Penson. Blasting game is 0 for 3. He struck out, flown out the left, and grounded out the third. And that ball is popped up in the infield. And Frank Bolin wants this one, folks, and he's got it. That's 1 out. Brings up Eddie Casco. And that ball is hit down the third. Matthews gobbles that up, fires over to Adcock for the 2nd out. It's up to Veda to keep this 8th inning alive here. He's 0 for 3. He's flown out the center. He's flown out the right and flown out again the center. And this time he picks on Eddie, not the guy you want to pick on. One of the best fielding third basemen in the game. And that's a 1-2-3-8. Warren Spahn. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We got Bolin, Matthews, and Aaron due up here against Nunn. Nunn is due up, I think, third. Yeah, they like to see him get through this 8th inning. Here's the pitch to Frank Bolin. And that ball is hit down the short. Chico comes up with it, fires over to first. And that's your first out of the inning. Oh, exactly, Ken. Yeah, these Braves are supposed to be a 500 club, and right now the record's 40-25, so they're playing real well. Pitching, I think they're leading the National League in ERA. Don't hold me to it. It's either them or the Reds. The Reds got a damn good pitching staff. They just ain't hitting, just like in this game. Yeah, that's what's going on with the big Reds. Just ain't getting the hits. Here's Matthews now. Nobody on and 1 out. And that is ball 4. And Matthews will walk, I think, for the 2nd time today. Yep. Here comes the Hank. Hank Aaron now. He's 0 for 3 with an intentional walk. And he's going to be 0 for 4 because he hits that ball out the Wally post, and Wally's got him played perfect. That's 2 outs here in the 8th. That brings up Frank Thomas now. Frank's 0 for 4. He struck out twice, reached on an error, and reached on a fielder's choice. And he gets the old hat trick, folks, because that's a swing and a miss. Frank Thomas is not having a very good game. And that is it for the Braves in the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th, folks. The Reds need a heck of a comeback here. They got Robinson posting, then going to be a pitch hitter here for Nunn. So here's the pitch to Frank Robinson. He's having a heck of a game. He's 2 for 3. One of the few Reds that's doing well, but not this time, because that ball is hit down to Frank Bolin. He's up with it. Fires over to Adcock for the 1st out here in the 9th. Here's Wally Post. He's 1 for 3. He struck out his last time out. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. So Wally's aboard here. McMillan couldn't quite get to it. It made its way through. And we'll have a pitch hitter here for none. He's going to come in here to pitch hit. Got mostly lefties on the bench. Chacon, I guess, will come out here to pitch hit. All righty. Got a runner on at first and 1 out for him against Warren Spahn. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. He squares it up. And he drives that ball deep, 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 deep into left field. Frank Thomas looks up. He admires that. And that is a home run, folks. That's a no doubt about it. A pitch hit home run here for the Reds. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-2 ball game, folks. And we got Gearhart coming up now with nobody on and 1 out. And that'll get the bullpen up. Get McMahon up. So Don's up in the bullpen. They go out and talk to Spahn. He says he can complete this game. They'll let him go. If he gets a runner on, though, that'll be it, I would think. Here's the pitch to Dick. And that ball is lifted in the left field. Frank's going back on this one, but he catches it just short of the warning track. Spahn takes a deep breath here. He's got Zimmerman up now with 2 outs. Reds are down to their last out. And he hits that ball on the ground. The Mac down at short. He fires over to first, and that'll be your ball game, folks. The Reds made it interesting in the 9th, too little, too late. We'll take a look at the box score here. At the end of June. And what's the star here for? Blasting game in his 3 errors. Yeah, was not a good game for him, that's for sure. That's for sure. He had 2 in 1 inning. The Reds 2 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. The Braves 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Remember, the Braves scored their first run without a hit, folks. They had a walk, an error, and another walk. Post had a good game, and so did Robinson, but that was about it. And then, of course, old Chacon coming out with that pitch hit home run in the 9th. And for the Braves, Gino had a nice game, 2 for 5 with a double. Matthews and Joe Adcock and Joe Torres with the RBIs, the same with McMillan. Joe J just did not have his stuff today, folks. I thought it was going to be a heck of a pitching match, but the line here on him shows that Blasting Game's errors were killers. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, only 1 earned. But he's got himself to blame with 6 walks. Struck out 5. None came in and pitched 3 great innings, 2 hits, walked 1, struck out 1, but it was too late. Spahn with a great game here. 9 innings, spread 7 hits out over that. And the 2-run homer in the 9th, walked 1 and struck out 5. And how many games we got here in the National League? We got 3 more games to play to finish out June. And here we go. We got the Cardinals taking on their rivals up in Chicago, the Cubs. See what happens here. And the Cardinals shut out the Cubs. The Cardinals 7 runs on 13 hits and an error. The Cubbies no runs on 1 hit and 3 errors. Cubbies, after shutting the Reds out in 2 straight games, get shut out themselves. We got the Dodgers in Pennsylvania taking on the Phillies. They just got done playing the Pirates, so they're staying in Pennsylvania. And the Dodgers win big, 8 runs on 10 hits and no errors. The Phillies 1 run on 6 hits and an error. And the Giants are staying in the state of Pennsylvania too. They're going westbound to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates after taking on the Phillies. And the Giants win. Let's see what the star here is for. The Giants score 4 runs but left 14 runners on base, folks. 4 runs on 13 hits and no errors. And the Pirates 1 run on 5 hits and an error. Let's take a look at the standings here after June in the National League. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. So the Braves are 3.5 games up on the Giants. The Cardinals take over 3rd place. The Reds just 2 or 3 games ago were in 2nd place, folks. After losing 3 in a row, now they dropped to 4th and they're 5.5 games back. The Cubbies are 8.5 games back. The Los Angeles Dodgers 10. The Pittsburgh Pirates. The state of Pennsylvania is holding the league up, folks. You got the Pirates 10.5 games back, and the Phillies a lonely 21 in the games back, folks. And after June, you got George Altman leading the league with a .359 batting average. Willie Mays, look at that, 24 home runs here at the end of June. And his teammate leading the league with RBIs with 70, folks. You got the 3 Giants all with 20 home runs. Felipe Alou with 21 and Orlando with 20. Everybody else in the National League's hit the 20 mark yet. Matthews has got 17 and Adcox with 16. So out of the top 5, all of them are either Giants or Braves in the home runs. Hank Aaron's 3rd in batting with a .336 average. Let's take a look at the pitchers here in the National League. JZRA goes up to 2.49. But heck, most of those runs is unearned. He's like and got Bob Perk. He's leading the league with a 2.48. SPAHN took over the lead in wins since he was going up against Jay. Now he's got 10. Jay only has 9. See what that did. And that put SPAHN in the lead in the Cy Young. Cepeda right now has got the lead over Willie Mays, and Matthews is 3rd, Aaron's 4th, and Frank Robinson for the Reds is 5th in voting. Like I say, SPAHN's now got the lead in the Cy Young over Joey J. Let's see here. Let's check this out and see how many times the Braves have beaten the Reds here. Let's see here. Milwaukee, and where's Cincinnati at? Cincinnati's over here. Milwaukee's 9-3 against the Reds. Sure. See here. They're 7-3 against St. Louis, 9-2 against the Cubbies, 8-4 against the Dodgers, struggling against the Giants. They're 3-8 against the Giants. They're 500 with the Pirates, 3-3. So the only team they're struggling with right now is the Giants. You got the Giants in second place, folks, 3.5 games back. So it might be a heck of a pennant race here if the Braves can keep this up. Yeah, I want to thank Doug Hunt, Ken Castro for stopping by here in Milwaukee. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, folks, and hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out of Milwaukee County Stadium, hit that like button and leave a comment about this game and this replay. Until next time, you'll have a good one and take care, folks.